Hey everyone, welcome to Talking Tennessee.
Where we navigate life's twists, real estate turns, and share Southern stories.
We are your hosts. I am Rachel Odom.
And I am Brittany Hobson, and welcome back to episode 6.
I think so. Yeah,
6.
that sounds right.
Yeah.
Good for
It's
us.
been a long day for us. We've worked. We've had a good weekend this past weekend, showing some homes. The weather outside is
Great.
amazing.
I did not dress for the 70 degrees.
No.
But I didn't know it was going to be 70 degrees.
No. So sweater weather.
Sweater weather is hopefully over. I'm
Hopefully.
ready for summer weather.
I know. This time next week, we will be an hour later.
I can't wait.
I mean, I'm sure everyone is excited.
I am ready for 8 o'clock and the sun's still to be out.
Yes, and I will say, especially in our line of work, and I'm sure in many people's line of works, like the getting darker later is, for us being females, realtors, it is, I feel safer showing homes to people.
Yep.
Whenever, and honestly, it's just better for you as a client to see a home in the daylight versus at night.
And a lot of people, I mean, when the time changes, if you're going and looking at houses at 5:30, sometimes it's dark.
Yeah.
And that's, you can get off work,
get
over there. 5:30 is actually really probably pushing it for a lot of people, but by 6 o'clock it's dark outside. So I cannot wait for it to still be sunny. You don't have to worry about getting off work early.
Yes.
Yeah. It makes a difference.
Can't wait.
Me either.
So, we're going to tell you all a little funny story in real estate. So, we were in the great town of Rogersville showing some homes. And, we know as realtors in Tennessee, we will have times when we do not have cell service. That's part of it.
Very common.
It is very common.
I have shown many houses with
and
no
it does work for us. Like, I now have AT&T, Rachel has Spectrum, so sometimes I can have service and Rachel doesn't, or vice versa. Well, but normally for the most part, your GPS is fairly accurate. Yeah. Within
Google Maps or iPhone Maps or whatever.
Well, let's just tell you, our GPS failed us miserably.
Yeah. Definitely.
And we were in the middle of nowhere
in Pressman's Home. If you're familiar with Rogersville or that, it's Pressman's Home is the area.
Yeah.
Which is middle of nowhere.
It is in the middle of nowhere. It's beautiful. Rachel made the comment like, oh, it feels like we're in Kate's Cove. And it really does.
It is gorgeous.
But we were in the middle of nowhere with no service. And our clients had no service. So we couldn't tell them, hey, I hope you're not lost, but...
We're lost.
We're lost, and we've lived here our entire lives,
and they're from out of state, have no idea where they're going.
And here's the thing, like, I don't know if you... Like, I have a good sense of direction.
Yeah, I do too.
And so, like, it's very rarely, but I'm like, we are really in the middle of, like, nowhere. And it's all because the GPS took us down the wrong road.
And thankfully, we didn't go venture too far, because I guarantee you we would have been stuck.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Because the minivan, I don't think was going to cut it.
I mean, I take that minivan like it's a truck.
Yeah.
I
mean, it did fine, but I was a little worried if we were going to keep going. I was like, I don't think this is a good idea.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. I would love to see.
Thankfully, our clients didn't have that problem, and they found the house perfectly easy.
Yeah, their GPS took them right to the right spot.
Yeah, but we struggled.
It was fun. So have you all ever experienced the GPS taking you down the random road? I will tell you a funny, and if I have a friend listening to this, she will probably call me as soon as it's over. This has been years ago. I've always been the designated driver. And this was at a church retreat, so there was no alcohol involved. But I'm always the designated driver.
Yeah.
And the GPS... Or so I thought. We were up in the mountains, and I was just going back down the trail, so I thought I ended up being on a bike trail.
Oh, my gosh.
In the van. And so they like to make fun of that all the time. And but it was a very wide bike path.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I was just following the GPS.
Was it paved? Or like,
it was. It was asphalt. Like,
I have done that as well, actually, in Knoxville, of all places. This is over near It's off Kingston Pike, but there's a Carm. Every year, I feel like they put this Christmas Carm store in the same place. Well, I was trying to get around. I don't know what it was that I was going to over there, but anyways, what I ended up on was literally not a road. It was a bike path / walking trail. And it was in a weird place.
Yeah.
But my GPS took me around there, and then it wasn't ever marked. Like, there was no marking.
Yeah.
You could drive straight onto this. And it never said walking trail, or there was no fence or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what am I going to do? Because I get around, and I can see I am not on a road. I had to drive over the curb to get back into the parking lot. And that is not common. Like, obviously, if I know I'm going to do something, I will do it sometimes. Yeah. But that was not on purpose.
I get it.
And I was in a car. So thankfully it didn't do anything. But yeah, that's stressful.
Fun. That sounds fun. Okay, I've got a challenge for you. And I've not told you that I was going to do this today.
Oh, gosh.
And so it's either going to be a funny challenge if you are watching this. It will not necessarily be as fun if you are not watching the video of this. Or you may have already seen this, and then it may just be an epic fail, and maybe I'll try to figure out a way to erase it. I don't know. Say Coca-Cola without your lips touching.
I have seen this.
Oh, man.
I have seen this. And Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Your lips don't touch.
No, they don't.
Because I remember watching somebody, and they were like, Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
I'm like, actually,
yeah,
your lips aren't involved in that word.
No.
But yeah. Better luck next time.
No. Okay, I'll tell you a joke then, okay? So this is So there were 20 cows in a field. Oh, no, sorry, I'm sorry. 20 cows in a field, 8 chicken. Nope. I messed up. Just ignore me.
I think I've heard this. 28 cat. What is the
20 cows in
How does it go?
I just did this to Sawyer and William the other day, and like they just thought it was hilarious, but it was funny.
I think maybe the number. We have to start with a higher number.
No.
Because it's 28 chickens. How many didn't? Right? Like it goes something like... There are 30 cows in a field.
There's 30 cows in a field, 28 chicken.
Yes.
How many cows didn't?
Yes. Something like that.
Do you know that answer? There are 30 cows in a field.
Yes.
28 chicken. How many didn't?
28 chicken. Mm-hmm. Yes. 10.
Correct.
Yeah.
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 But I did that.
I have heard that.
Like, such an epic letdown. Sorry, guys. Like,
we'll try again.
It's been a long weekend, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I know it's Tuesday.
I was up at 7 o'clock, first thing this morning, 7 a.m. I look over to my phone because I knew I had to meet you, and I didn't set an alarm because I typically wake up. And so I was like, I need to make sure it's not like 9 o'clock and I'm going to be late. And my phone screen was just black. And so I thought, maybe it's dead. It had charged all night. I was literally getting ready to order a new phone because I was like, I'm not dealing with this. I'll just have to get a new one.
Russian hackers.
I don't know what happened. Spencer was able to get it to come back on, but it took 30 minutes. For that
Crazy.
And it wasn't dead.
Crazy.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
We all know what time that means.
Woo-hoo.
It is our time in the episode where we go to our real estate corner. So super excited. Obviously we are realtors and we do love what we do. And we love to share some tidbits of information with you all. Mm-hmm. And we want it to be interesting, but we also want it to be helpful. And so when you are buying a home, a lot of time as a buyer, people will ask, like, what all do I need to do? Especially if you're a first-time home buyer.
Yes.
I normally always recommend doing a home inspection.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about home inspections today. And we are not licensed home inspectors. We are not contractors. We cannot tell you anything legally what needs to be repaired or how to repair it because we are not licensed.
Also, home inspectors will not do that either.
Right. If they are not...
If they're not a contractor and they know how, like a licensed contractor who knows how to fix it, a home inspector is going to say, here's what's wrong. Mm-hmm. Then you've got to find someone that says, here's how to fix it.
Right. So unless they're licensed. So in the state of Tennessee, a home inspector is required to be a licensed home inspector. Not every state requires that. In Tennessee, it is mostly common for buyers to get a basic home inspection and a termite inspection.
Yes.
On occasion, people will try to do a septic inspection.
Yep.
Very rarely, I've had a radon inspection.
I've had one radon inspection, and I did have somebody try to do a septic inspection where they wanted to dig up the septic tank, and my seller was like, I'm not okay with that. You're going to make a big mess in my yard. So I understand that. I mean,
and a septic inspection can be difficult because a septic is either going to work or it's not going to work.
Exactly.
And it could work today and then not work tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, and you could have a problem in your field line, and you're not digging out field lines.
No.
Nobody, no.
No one who does a septic inspection is going to dig out field lines.
No. And so, yes, I mean, essentially, in my opinion, a septic tank is a tank in the ground. It's going to last a long time.
Your biggest thing is, having your home inspector flush the toilets a few times, run some water down it.
Have water going in multiple different places. Like, there's going to be bubbling or something if there's
some water, some
a major
issues.
problem. Yeah.
And there is some companies that will offer a dye test for septic inspection, but I have been told that's really a big gimmick. Like, they really can't.
I mean, what would they?
It's apparently so they could see if it's colored, it could come up through the field lines. I mean, it's going to at some point. But I don't know. So
yeah.
But I will say this, as far as a termite, I think out of all the inspections in the state of Tennessee, I feel like a termite is probably one of the most important.
Yeah.
Just because, and this is my rule of thumb, for anyone who's moving here from out of state, when you live in Tennessee, here's what happens when you have termites. You're either going to, A, have had termites in the past, B, currently have termites, or C, you are going to have termites.
Yeah.
At some point in our state, termites just pop up, and as long as you treat it, you're typically okay. I have had buyers who have bought a house, did a home inspection, and there was absolutely no termites at all. Like, no presence of termites. They did termite. They had the house that they bought had a termite contract where they were regularly checked. And then one spring, termites just popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it can just happen.
Yeah, and it does happen.
And so your biggest thing is you're wanting to make sure that they've not infested the house where it's caused structural damage. Yes.
I actually we did a termite inspection on one a couple weeks ago, and they didn't find any termites.
Awesome.
And didn't seem to find any history of termites, but this guy said there's a few things you might want to do to this crawl space so you don't get termites.
Right.
Because they're going to come.
Yep.
If you've got wood on dirt, there's going to be a termite.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was a super easy fix. It took 10 minutes, but obviously that's not always the case. Mm-hmm. And you want to know, is this caused some major damage, or have these termites been here for 3 days?
Yep.
And nothing's happened yet.
Yeah. And, I like to tell buyers, especially first-time home buyers, someone who's had a house, they typically know, but the reason why you do a home inspection is you're looking for major issues. If you have a home inspector who does not give you reports, like if they tell you there's nothing wrong with your house, get a new home inspector.
Yeah.
Like a brand new house should have an issue.
Yeah.
You're looking for, in my opinion, you are looking for major foundation issues, structural issues, giving you good knowledge on maybe the age of certain things in the home, or maybe what the life expectancy is. But I will also say this, as a seller's agent, a lot of times, we know, hey, the roof needs to be replaced. So we price the home to replace the roof. Yeah. Just because the roof needs to be replaced doesn't mean it's okay to necessarily ask them to drop their price even more. Now, sometimes you can use that. So you've got to factor in, has that house already been listed with the price of these this stuff needs to be repaired.
And typically, if it's something that you can see with the naked eye, like let's say a roof.
Right.
Most buyers or most sellers who are listing their house, they know it needs a roof. If you do a home inspection and the home inspector says it needs a roof, the sellers already know that.
Yep.
So they're typically not going to take much off that price because they've already taken that into consideration.
When pricing the home.
Now, if you find something that they're like, oh, we didn't know that. Yes, it's going to be an extra expense. You've got some more negotiation room there.
Yeah,
But
and we can always negotiate.
yeah, and hope.
You never know.
Best,
you never know. I love to negotiate. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like it as long as I end up with what I want. You know, if I end up with my clients, what they were really wanting. But if my clients are the ones losing, I don't like it.
No. Well, and I like realistic negotiations.
Yeah.
I don't like having someone say, let's drop it $100,000 whenever it's really worth the $100,000.
Yeah.
I will say on home inspections with roofs, I had a client several years ago now. They did the home inspection and they found animals in the roof, like chipmunks.
Fun.
That was real fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to get those exterminated. That was fun. I've seen some fun stuff over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just it. I mean, just, go into it with an open mind.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You're going to get a long list of here's literally everything the home inspector found. Like 28 pages of light fixtures, light sockets, electrical outlets. I mean, some of that is relevant, and some of it's like there's a paint chip in some of them are very detailed.
And I will also say this about a home inspector, and most of the time they're really smart. And have you ran across this where a home inspector says this ceiling fan doesn't work, but they didn't turn the right switch on? It's
yes.
Buddy, let me just show you.
It works. I watched it work. I had somebody say the heat pump one time didn't work, and I was like, I turned it on myself.
Yeah.
I felt it. Mm-hmm. He was like, I can't get the heat to come on. And I went back over there the next day, and it worked.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a user error. They're human too. They make mistakes.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you funny and I think I sent you the video. So I saw on social media this week.
I know what you're talking about.
It was a home inspection, and they determined that the washing machine drained into the bathtub.
Here's what was crazy about this. Okay, so you know how you have your bathtub.
Yep.
And it's tiled around it and all the stuff. Well, when your washing machine's draining, it's nowhere near your bathtub, or it shouldn't be anywhere near your bathtub.
Unless it's next door or something, yeah. But yeah.
But in this scenario, they had done this on purpose.
It was in another room.
Yes, they had done it on purpose. They had tiled around this drain. They had put a drain spout in, and so you're watching dirty laundry water drain out the bathtub.
Yep.
Can you imagine if you were taking a bath and somebody decides, I'm going to do a little laundry?
Yeah, it's called gray water. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Gray water.
I mean, I know there are systems where people do actually use that water, but they use it typically for their garden or whatever. Like, they're not putting it back into their house.
That's like a flip error 101. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I would love to have known where that was, but that was, we see some crazy stuff occasionally. That was nothing local that I know of.
I have no idea where that was, but it was interesting.
Yeah. So,
gross.
Did you watch the basketball game this past weekend?
I watched about 30 minutes of it.
Okay, so
only because it was on where we were eating dinner.
Yeah.
I didn't purposely go looking for it, but...
So Tennessee played Alabama at Alabama.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
And so Nick Saban was there, which I will say, everyone knows I hate Alabama. But he is a great football coach. Like, I can't, as much as it pains me to say that, he's a great football coach. So I saw him there. And I think Jalen Milroe was there, which is Alabama's QB. But what was funny was I saw all these press conferences where Alabama took pride in not having anyone storm their court, and they were preparing because it was one of the biggest games for them for the year for basketball, and so they took all these precautions to make sure that the court did not get stormed.
Yeah.
Well, you got to win the game.
Yeah, that's
in
true.
order for that to happen,
Yeah.
and the Vols did come out on top.
Yeah,
and so that's
I
always
didn't know that.
it's a good game. We still got a couple of games left, and then March Madness kicks in.
Yeah.
So we've got South Carolina and Kentucky at home. So
I feel like maybe I didn't realize the season had started, but when did it start?
basketball season started in November.
Oh, well, I did not know that.
People.
I honestly didn't, because
Last week you tell
Hadn't
me
heard
American
anything about
food is
it.
bad, and this week you don't even know when basketball season.
I did not know that. I had been talking about going to a game.
Well, there's one home game left.
And I was like, we need to plan to go to a game. And sure enough, they're all over. I didn't know that.
There's one game left. You got Kentucky at home this week.
I don't think
That's
I
a big
want to
game.
pay the
Kentucky will be
prices.
an expensive game.
So probably won't be doing that.
Probably not. Next year.
Maybe it's because baseball.
Now,
just
baseball
started.
did just start.
I did know that.
Yes. So I will say on the local level of basketball, East and West both made it to the regional basketball. And I think this was the first time that West,
Yeah.
I'm a West graduate, so go West, made it to the regional in many, many years. I think since the 80s that they had made it all the way to regional.
Oh, wow.
So they met up again for the fourth time this season. So East played West for the fourth time this season, and East had beaten them 3 times prior.
Oh, wow.
So they were going into this, and it's like, it's hard to beat a team more than 3.
Yeah,
I mean, like, that's it doesn't matter what sport it is. So, anyways, East ended up beating West again, I think by 12 points. But the video that I've just seen, and I wish I can't think of the kid's name, an amazing shot. He did like a full court shot at the end of the third quarter.
Oh, wow.
And it went in. It was beautiful. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like, between East and West, I probably cheer more for East right now just because we have so many of my oldest friends who go there. So I want them to win. But at the end of the day, West always has my heart.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter who you cheered for. Like, to see that kid make that shot, that was just amazing.
Wow. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah,
I've
you'll
not
have to look
seen
it up. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then speaking of baseball, I saw that the Smokies Stadium, or Smokies Baseball, has put an announcement out that if you were interested in singing the national anthem at the Smokies Stadium, they are taking applications. You can submit a video. So if you were a singer, submit your video to
You could sing it at the
you can speak
Smokies.
at this. Yeah.
Are they not... Have I not been told, like, they are moving their...
They are moving to Knoxville, and I think
Okay, that's what I thought.
that is one of...
What will happen with their field?
I may be completely wrong in this, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I think it's going to be like a casino.
I think you're right, too. I think that's right. I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't go very often to a casino, but I would, maybe if there was one close.
Yeah, maybe.
Every now and then.
Yeah, maybe. Have a random fact.
Okay.
This one's very interesting. Okay. According to the Guinness World Records, the first person charged with speeding was this guy named Walter Arnold in 1896.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know how fast he was speeding?
Well, I'm going to say, I mean, he couldn't have been going fast. I wouldn't think. Because nothing went fast. 10 miles an hour.
You were close. So the first person convicted of speeding was going 8 miles an hour.
What? How? Was there a speed limit in place, I
There
guess?
was.
I mean, I guess
So
it had to be.
on January 28th, Arnold was spotted going 4 times the speed limit
4 times the speed limit.
in the 19th century Benz, but since the speed limit at the time was just 2 miles an hour,
That's
that
so
meant he was
slow.
going too fast by today's standards.
How fast could their...
The constable had to chase him down on his bicycle, issuing him a ticket and earning Arnold the speedy distinction for more trivia to impress.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
How fast could it got, like, his vehicle go, I guess?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I mean, that's crazy. It's probably tapped out. Like, that's probably as fast as it would go. 8 miles an hour.
Yeah. I'm seeing if
When we leave here, I'm going to have to drive, if I can, 2 miles an hour. And see how fast that is.
Could you imagine? Yeah, that, you know.
That's crazy.
Like, that's the car.
Yeah.
Or vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. That was just.
I mean, I would say that 8 was probably,
That's a good speed.
yeah, that's what I was going to
For
say.
that
That was
big-
probably
that-
like as fast as it's ever been.
Could you imagine?
2 miles an hour. Well, I mean, yeah.
Could you imagine traveling back, knowing everything that you know now, to 1896?
I have thought about that before. I think, no. But we watched Pride and Prejudice the other day, which I have never seen and I don't know how. But I told my husband, I said, I think I could have lived in that time frame. He's like, no, you couldn't.
I could not.
I mean, I think if I had money, I could have. Because women
Yeah.
didn't get to choose if they wanted to get married very often. Like, you just got married because somebody picked you. And But if you had money, it didn't matter. Like, you did have more of a choice then.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know if I actually could or not. I don't know.
No, no. And could you imagine if you were somebody from 1896 and you went to sleep one day? I know this is all totally impossible, but you went to sleep one day,
And then you woke up-
1896, and you woke up in 2024.
That would be too much. I think that'd be too much for
Like
a
that
person.
would be harder, I think,
Yeah,
going that far in the future with all
Probably.
the changes over the last 100
Yeah,
something years,
Yeah.
125, 130 years.
yeah. I think it probably would be harder.
Could you imagine? Like
No.
computers, phones.
I
all
feel
the
like your
stuff.
brain would probably be on like sensory overload. Like I don't know what any of this is. Yeah, that'd be wild.
Yeah. So,
Good thing that doesn't happen.
like, I mean, so that makes me think, like, what does 2140
I
look
know.
like? Like, what does that look
know.
like?
I don't know. I wonder if it'll get that far.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No,
I think
Maybe
the
not.
world might end before then.
probably. The rapture.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like, but I can remember growing up and people talking about flying cars by this time.
Mm-hmm.
We do not have
Obviously
flying
not.
cars.
No. They
But-
have failed. Maybe soon.
Maybe. I don't.
Can you imagine a
Could you
wreck in a
imagine?
car in
Oh,
the sky?
No. Oh my word. Like,
That'd be crazy.
honestly, I don't think I want flying
No,
cars.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah. So, some local stuff starting to happen. Spring is coming, people.
Yes.
We are so
It's
excited.
getting warm outside. People are ready to get out of their house.
I'm ready to get out of my house. I'm ready to clean my house. Like,
Yeah, it's. I think as it does get warmer, it definitely feels like, you're trying to get out, do more stuff, and you're like, I've got stuff I need to get rid of.
yeah.
Spring cleaning.
Yes, I want to get outside and do some landscaping, get some
Yes,
stuff done. My
yes.
tulips are starting to come up. I saw them
Oh,
sprouting.
Yeah. Are they
a little.
little tiny little?
Yeah, they've not bulbed yet, but yeah, they're the leaves are coming up, and so
It's exciting.
I think I read that, or maybe you read that the farmers market will be starting up.
It looks like they're doing actually like a market day.
Yeah.
I think so. There's a boutique who's hosting it, but there's going to be like face painting and food trucks and shopping and
So
permanent
fun.
jewelry, and it's the 18th. So I think
Fun.
that's
Mark
a
your calendars.
Saturday.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be fun.
No, I think that. Yeah, it has to be Saturday.
Yeah.
In my head, I was wanting to say Monday, but that would make no sense.
Yeah, I think it's a Saturday.
Yeah. I will say one thing that I'm a little disappointed in is I heard over the weekend that they are going to keep the road closed on Main Street, Morristown, until the complete tear down
Yeah.
of the old Belk building. And what I was disappointed in is that could take up to a year
Are you serious?
to completely demolish that. Now, was that person
Surely
exaggerating? I don't
not.
know. But that is hurting business
Yeah.
downtown.
I have heard that it has, and I will say it is, especially if you're not really from here.
Yeah.
It's very confusing figuring out how to go around it. So there's the parking at the back of downtown between downtown and the railroad tracks, and that's the easiest place to park and just walk where you need to go. But if you're not already familiar with how to get down there, then yeah, or people may be thinking the businesses are closed because the road's closed.
Yep.
But they're open.
Yep. I also saw a building for rent downtown.
There's one for sale. Somebody has turned one of the downtown apartments.
Yeah.
They've made it into an apartment. Mm-hmm. They've been doing Airbnb rental with it. They are selling it.
Oh.
It's super pretty. Very industrial.
Yeah.
All the brick is exposed. It's really nice. I'm not really sure how much business they've done, like, on Airbnb. Like, I don't know if there's a, a rental history or what, but it's very pretty. Very pretty.
Yeah. Sounds like a great business opportunity for you.
I know.
and
At one
Spencer.
point, I would have loved to live downtown. I thought it would be so convenient.
Now you want acreage.
No, I want Anchorage. I could do both.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a couple houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be fun.
It would.
I am so ready for the rest of this month
Yeah.
and what all that brings.
Mm-hmm.
I know you are too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in for episode 6, and we will see you back here again next week.
Yes.
Yep. Have a great day, guys.